Today we are going to discuss on percentage problems. Here this percentage problems will come under objective arithmetic or aptitude. Here this aptitude will be useful for interviews, for all competitive exams, for software jobs, for RRB, railway, for bank jobs, for software jobs, for all competitive exams. This aptitude or objective arithmetic will be very useful. Okay, today we are going to discuss on percentage problems. You see here, first problem, find 8% of 625. Whenever we get percentage, we have to do by 100. In the denominator, we have to write 100, okay, into 625. Then we will get 50, okay. In 625, if we consider 8%, that is the 50. Okay, second problem, what fraction is 12.5%? Okay, actually here we are not able to know what's the fixed fraction. If it is 12.5, we are not able to understand perfectly. Okay, for that purpose, if I want to know what's the 12.5%, then 12.5% into, whenever we give percentage, in the place of percentage we have to write 1 by 100 into 1 by 100. 12.5 into 1 by 100. This is the mixed fraction. Okay, 1 by 2 is the fraction, 1 by 2 is the mixed fraction. Okay, if we have percentage, then we have to write into 1 by 100. Okay, then 12.5, 2 into 12, 24, plus 1, 25 by 2. In the denominator we have 2. 2 into 12, 24, plus 1, 25 by 2 into 1 by 100. Okay, then we will get 1 by 8. 12.5% is 1 by 8. Out of 8 portions, this is the 1 portion. It places 1 portion out of 8 portions. Okay, next third problem, what percentage is equal to 3 by 8? Okay, here this is the percentage, 3 by 8 percentage. So whenever, if percentage is there, okay, we have to write, you see here 3 by 8 into 100. Okay, this is the 37.5%. Okay, what percentage is equal to 3 by 8? Then we have to write into 100. Okay, next here you see, a man invests 12.5% of his salary, okay, in a business. If his salary is 50,128 rupees, how much does he invest? Okay, you see here, a man invests 12.5% of his salary in a business. Okay, if his salary is 50,128 rupees, his salary is 50,128 rupees. Out of 50,128, 12.5% he invests in business. So 12.5% of 50,128, if percentage is there, 1 by 100, okay, into total salary. Okay, then we will get this 6,266 he invests in his business out of 12.5% of his salary. Okay, next you see here, next one more problem, population of town increased from 60,000 to 65,000. Population increased from 60,000 to 65,000. Find the increased percentage. Okay, here out of 60,000, how much increased? 5,000 increased. Okay, what's the, if we want to know the percentage, what's the increase percentage? Okay, then here you see 100 into 5,000 by 60,000. 100 into 5,000 by 60,000. Then we will get 25 by 3, that is 1 by 3% is increased. Okay, you see here, for this shortcut is increased percentage. We want to know the increased percentage. The shortcut is increase by old into 100. How much increased? 5000. What's the base? What's the old value? 60,000. Out of 60,000, 5,000 increased. I want to know the percentage. Okay, then we have to give 100. Okay, then 81 by 3. Okay, next. You see here, Praveen's salary increased from 630 to 700 rupees. Find increase percentage. Okay, out of 630, how much increased? 70 rupees increased. I want to know the percentage, increase percentage. Then out of 100, how much increased? Okay, so here 100 into 70 by 630. Okay, what this is the increased salary. This is the original salary, base, original salary. I want to know the percentage. If I want to know the percentage, I have to multiply with 100. Okay, you see here 100 by 9, 11 1 by 9 percentage increased. Okay, next, 12% of certain sum of money is 435. Actually here 12% of something, 12% of something, we don't know original. 12% of that original is 435. Now we have to find the original. What's the original value? What's the 100% value? Actually here 12% of something is 435. Okay, if I get a percentage, okay, then 1 by 100. Okay, if we have percentage, we have to write 1 by 100. If we want to find the percentage into 100. But if we have the percentage, then we have to write 1 by 100. Okay, right. If we want to convert into percentage, what's the percentage? Then we have to multiply with 100. But here, if percentage is there, then we have to write 1 by 100. 12 by 100 into x is 435. Here cross multiplication, 100 will go to numerator place, 12 will come to denominator place. Okay, then sum basic original value is 3625. Okay, out of 3625, 12% is 435. Okay, next, a fruit seller had some apples. He sells 40% of apples and still he has 420 apples. Okay, how many apples originally he had? You see here, a fruit seller had some apples. He sells 40% of apples. Okay, actually 40% of apples sold out. Now 60% are remaining. Okay, he sold out 40%. So out of 60%, how many had? 420. This is the 60%. 60% of something is 420. We don't know total apples. That is the x. Okay, now we have 420. Okay, so that is the 60%. 60% of something is 420. If we have percentage, by 100 into x is cross multiplication. Here 100 will go to numerator, 60 will come to denominator. Then original apples 700. Okay, right. Next, you see here, out of a class 38 boys, 3 were absent, 20% remaining are failed to do homework. How many did homework? You see here, total out of a class 38 boys, 3 were absent. Okay, right. So total present now 35 only. Out of 38, 3 are absent. Okay, you see here 20% of remaining are failed. 20% of 35 is, if we have percentage, by 100 into 35, that is the 7. Okay, 20% failed. That failed percentage, that failed students are 7. Okay, total. Okay, here 35. Here in the present, in the class. Okay, now in the class, okay, 28 actually these 3 members didn't do homework. Okay, three students are failed to do the homework. Okay, so total 35. Okay, You see here, out of a class 38 boys, 3 were absent, 3 didn't come to the college. Okay, 3 were absent. Okay, 35 were present. Total present students are 35. Okay, present are 35 out of 38. 35 students are present. 20% of students didn't do the homework. They are failed to do the homework. So how many out of 35? 7 students didn't do the homework. Okay, 35 present, na? Okay, 35 present. How many students didn't do the homework? 7. 35 minus 7. 28 boys did the homework. Okay, next. You see here. Salary of a worker was first increased by 10%, then decreased by 5%. Okay, what was his changed salary percentage? At the beginning, how much increased? 10%. After immediately, they decreased 5%. What's that changed percentage of his salary? For example, let us consider worker salary 100 rupees, increased percentage 10%, 100 plus 10, 110. Okay, decreased percentage 5%. After increasing, okay, after he got 110 rupees, they decreased 5%. Okay, what's the 5% of 110 rupees? Percentage, if percentage is there, by 100 into 110, 5.5. Okay, so now 110 rupees minus 5.5, 5 rupees 50 paisa. So now 104 rupees 50 paisa. So how much decreased? 4.5. Here actually his original salary is 100 rupees, but now he is getting 104 rupees 50 paisa. 4.5% increased his salary. Okay, so here shortcut is percentage change, salary change percentage we are going to find. So shortcut is increase minus decrease minus increase into decrease by 100. Increase 10% increased. After increased, okay, they decreased. Okay, he will get that increased salary now. For example, 100 rupees. Now he will get 10% increment, 110. From that, we have to subtract 5%. Okay, so this is the 10 minus 5 minus 1 by 2, 4.5% increased. Okay, for each 100 rupees, 4 rupee 50 paisa increased. 4.5% is increased. At the beginning we don't know, that's why we consider 100 rupees is his original. Then we can easily find out. You see here, if the price is decreased by 12%, one seller decreased 12%, okay, then sale is increased 10%. Immediately sales are increased. When he decreased 12% rate, then sales are increased 10%. Then what will be the effect on the income? Okay, percentage of change is I minus D minus I into D by 100. Okay, here 10 is the increased. Here he increased 10%, but at the beginning he decreased 12%. Rate he decreased 12%. Then here increased percentage is 10%. Okay, then sale increased 10%. This is the formula, increase, decrease. Okay, then minus 16 by 5. Income is decreased 16 by 5. Here what we got? Minus 16 by 5. So here, okay, here the LCM is 5. Okay, 1 into 5, 5. 5 into 2, 10. Okay, minus 6, minus 16. Okay, you see here, a shopkeeper marks the prices of his goods 12% higher than its original price. Okay, he marked 12% more than original, than on the base price. He increased 12% on original price. After that, due to increase in demand, he further increased by 12%. Beginning he increased 12%. One more time he increased 12%. What is his percentage of profit? Okay, at the beginning 12%. Second time he increased 12%. Okay, percentage of change. okay, is I plus I into I by 100. Here I stands for increase, beginning 12%, second time also 12%. For example, at the beginning 12%, second time if it decrease, minus I, okay, but here I plus I increased and second time increased, plus. If second time decrease, minus, okay, then profit is 25.44 percentage. Okay, next, population of a town decreased 10% in first year and decreased 20% in second year. What percentage population is decreased after 2 years? Okay, first year 10% decreased, in the second year 20% decreased. What's the population decreased percentage after 2 years? Okay, you see here 2 times decreased, minus D, minus 20, decreased na? In the first year, second year decreased, minus 20, plus 10 into 20 by 100. Okay, these formulas according to our requirement we use. Okay, next here we will get minus 28. So here population decreased 28 percentage in 2 years, total overall. Okay, next, a student has to secure 40% of marks to pass the exam. If he gets 40 marks and fails by 40 marks, what's the maximum marks? You see here, a student has to secure 40% of marks to pass in the exam. He has to get compulsory 40% to pass in the exam, but he got 40 marks and he failed by 40 marks. Okay, what is the maximum marks? Okay, you see here 40% he has to get, but now 40 out of 40 percentage, if he gets 40% he will pass, but now he got 40 marks and he failed by 40 marks. What's the maximum marks? What is the maximum marks we have to find? Okay, the shortcut is M, maximum marks, 100 into y plus z by x. Y is the what he got marks, z how many he has to get the marks. Okay, x, you see here pass percentage. Here he has to pass percentage is 40. Okay, 100. Here y is he got 40, he has to get 40. Okay, here to get marks he has to get marks 40, he got 40, he has to get 40. This is the formula. In this we have to apply. Then maximum marks is 200. Okay, out of 200 he has to get 80 marks. Okay, this is the formula. M is equal to 100 into y plus z by x. Y is how many he got, z is how many he has to get, x is pass percentage. Okay, second method, actually 40% of something we don't know what's the maximum marks, but 40% of something is 80 marks. Okay, he got 40 and he failed by 40 marks. So if he gets 40 he could pass, so that's why 40 plus 40, 80. If he could get 80 he could pass. The 40% of x is 80. Okay, 40 if we have percentage by 100. Okay, cross multiplication, 100 will go to numerator, 40 will come to denominator, then x is 200. Maximum marks is 200. One more method, shortcut, 40% is 80%, 80 marks. Then what's the 100%? 100 into 80 by 40, then maximum marks are 200. Okay, you see here, a student has to secure 80% to pass the exam. Okay, 80% has to get the marks to pass in the exam, but he got, if he gets 210 marks, okay, he got 210 and he failed by 50. That means if he gets 260, he got 210, he failed by 50 marks. Okay, he has to get 80% to pass. So 80% is 210 plus 50. 260 is 80%. 80%, then he could pass. but he failed by 50 marks. Find the maximum marks. Okay, you see here, this is the very shortcut method. Okay, for 80%, how many he has to get? 210 plus 50, 260. Okay, what's the total marks? 100%, 100 into 260 by 80, 325 is the maximum marks. Here formula, just now we discussed earlier, that is the formula. Okay, you apply here. All these are the shortcuts. Okay, in an exam, a candidate must get 35% marks to pass. If the candidate will get 35%, then he could pass. If he gets 263 marks and fails by 17 marks, he got 263 and failed by 17 marks. Okay, you see here, 35% of x is 263 he got, and he has to get 17, then he could pass for 35%. We don't know maximum marks. 35% of x is 263 he got, and has to get 17. The total is 35%. Then he could pass for 35%. 35 by 100 percentage we have by 100 into x is 280. Okay, cross multiplication, here 100 will go, 280 into 100 by 35. 280 into 100 by 35, x is 800. Maximum is 800 marks. Okay, when 30% of a number, next problem, when 30% of a number, okay, is added to 49, okay, the result is the number itself. Find the what's the number. Okay, 30% of something number plus 49 is the total value. Okay, so here we will write 30 by 100 into x plus 49 is x. Then we will get the answer. Like this also we can do. Earlier problem, for this we can solve in another method. Okay, when 40 is subtracted from 40% of a number, okay, we don't know what's the number. Okay, if 40 is subtracted from 40% of the number, you see here, 40 is subtracted from the 40% of the number, the result is 40, then we will get the result is 40. What's the number? Find the number. Number is x. Okay, if we subtract 40 from the 40% of something, then the result is 40. Okay, then we will get the x is the number 200. Okay, next, subtracting 40% of a number. Okay, you see here, subtracting 40% of a number. Of a number means into x, 40% of x, 40% of x. Okay, you see here 40% of x. Subtracting 40% of a x, 40% of a number from the number. We don't know number. That's why subtracting 40% of x from the number, then the result is 30 here. Then we will get the answer. What's the number? X is 50. That is the number, our required number. Okay, you see here, if 70% of students in a class are girls, okay, and the number of boys is 504, how many girls are there in the classroom? You see here, 70% of students in a class are girls, and number of boys is 504. That means 70% girls means 30% are boys. Boys are 504. So 30% of something is 504. 30% of x is, total is x is 504. Then x is 1680. Total strength. Okay. What are the girls? For this 1680 minus 5, total strength 1680 minus boys. From the total strength, if we subtract boys, then we will get the girls. Okay. You see here, population of a village is 4,500. 11 by 8 of them are males. Okay, and the rest are female. Out of 4,500, 11 by 8 are male, remaining are female. 40% of female are married. Okay, among in this strength, in this population, 40% of female are married. Okay, then find the number of married men. Okay, if we know the 40% of female, 40% female are married, then that 40% of female is the married men only. That is the answer. So we have to find out 40% of female. Then automatically, what is the answer? That is the married men only. Okay, we have to find out married men. If we know the 40% of female married, 40% female are married. If we know the 40% of female, okay, married women, then we know the married men. That is the question. Find the married men. Okay, you see here, male are 11 by 8 of 4500. Male are 2750. Half means into. If we get half, into. Okay, right. Next, so male are 2750 out of 4500. If we subtract male, then we will get the female. Okay, in this female, okay, you see here, these are the female. 40% of female are married. Okay, among the female are 1750. In that 1750, in this total female, 40% are married. 40% of 1750. Percentage means by 100. Half means into. Okay, then 700. 700 female are married. Automatically 700 female married means 700 male are married. That is the answer. Next, if 40% of x is 40% by 100, half into 40% by 100, half into x, okay, is 40. Okay, 40% of something number is 40. Then what's the number? Okay, if we do this, x is 250. Okay, next, you see here, if 75% of a number, we don't know the number, 75% of number, you see 75% of number is added to 75, it is added to 75, the result is the number itself, then what we get, that is the result, that is the number. What's that number? You see here, 75 by 100 into x, half means into x, plus 75 is x. Okay, x is 300, the number is 300. Okay, next, a candidate who gets 30% marks in a test and fails by 50 marks. Okay, a candidate got 30% of something, and if he has to pass, he wants 50 marks. Okay, another candidate who gets 320, another candidate got 320, and who gets 320 marks, and he was failed by 30 marks. To pass, he has to get 30 marks. Then these two will be pass. Okay, if this candidate, first candidate, 30% he got and he failed by 50 marks. Okay, to pass. Okay, pass marks are both are same for two persons. Na? So this is first person pass marks. Second person, he got 320, but he failed by 30 marks. If he gets 30, he could also pass. So both pass marks are same. So if we do this, then maximum marks, x is 1000. A candidate who scores 25% and fails by 30 marks. Okay, a candidate to pass, 25% of x he got out of total marks. He got 25% of total marks, and he failed by 30. If he could get 30 marks, he could pass. Okay, this is the first person pass marks. Okay, and second person, he scored 50% of total and he failed. He got 20 marks more. He got more 20 marks to pass the exam. So he got 20 more marks. So to pass, what we have to do? We have to cut that 20 marks. So subtract 20 marks. Then both could pass. Pass mark is equal. Na? So then what's the maximum mark? If we do this, then we will get the maximum marks 200. Okay, next, a man loses 10% of his money and after spending 20% of the remainder is left. A man loses 10% of his money and after spending 20% of the remainder, okay, remainder is, after spending he got 20% is left with him, that is 3600. How much he had at first? Okay, you see here, at the beginning is at shortcut, at the beginning is at present into 100 into 100, 100 minus he lose, okay, x, and he spent one more time, he lose 10% and he spent 20%. Okay, so here at the present how much he had? 3600. We have to find at the beginning how much he had. Okay, at the beginning how much he had. Okay, this is at present, he lose 10%, then okay, he lose 10%, he spent 20%. You see here, he 10 minus x, he lose 10%, 10, he spent second x, he spent 20%. Okay, now at present he had 3600. At the beginning is, this is the shortcut, at the beginning is at present into 100 into 100 by 100 minus x into 100 minus x. At the beginning he had 5000 rupees. This is the shortcut formula. Okay, next, the population of a town is 10,000. It's increased by 10% during first year. In the second year decreased 20%. In the first year population increased, second year 20% decreased, third year increased 30%. What's the population after 3 years? You see here, first year increased 100 plus x, second year decreased 100 minus y, third year increased here x 10, first year increased 10%, second year decreased 20%, third year increased 30%. Okay, this is the shortcut. According to our requirement we have to modify here plus or minus, decrease minus, increase plus. Okay, if we have two values we have to take these two. Here 3 times increment and decrement, so 1 2 3. Okay, according to here also hundreds, if we have, if increment or decrement will be done 2 times, 100 into 100, 3 times 300s, 4 times 400s. Here also 1 2 3 4. According to our requirement we have to change this formula, either plus or minus, and hundreds number of times, here also number of times, 3 times 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Okay, at present 11,440 population. Okay, you see here, for example 2 times increased, we have to write this formula for 2 times increment. Okay, for 3 times increment, one more 100 we have to write here, 100 plus z we have to write. For example, first time increase, second time decrease, plus x minus y. Okay, only one time is increased, only 100, 100 plus x. According to our requirement we have to change. ATB is at the beginning, ATP is the at present. Either it is money or population or rate, anything, we follow that formula. Okay, you see here formulas for some problems. If the population of the town is P, for example, let us consider P is the population present and annual increase is R%, then what's the population after n years? P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power n. This is the shortcut formula. All these are the shortcut formulas for competitive exams and for software jobs also. If I want to know population n years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if I want to know, okay, previous years, then this is the P by 1 plus R by 100 into the power n. Okay, after n years, this formula, before n years, this formula. Okay, all these are the formulas. If the population of the town is P and annual decrease is R%, population after n years, okay, P into 1 minus R by 100, population n years ago. Okay, this is for the decrement. Okay, here this is for decrement, minus, you see here this is the decrease, earlier increase, you see here increase, for the increase plus, Okay, this is for increase. Okay, second one for decrease. Okay, next third one, more than or less than. If x is r percent more than y, then y is less than x, then formula. If x is r percent less than y, then y is more than x. Then for more than, we write here plus. For less than, here we have to write in the denominator minus. Okay, these are the formulas, are very useful for competitive exams. Okay, you remember these formulas. Okay, you see here, price of a commodity increased by r percent, then reduction in consumption not to increase the expenditure. Okay, you see here, for example, now one price is 100 rupees. In the next year, for example, last year 100 rupees one oil packet, now it is 110 rupees. How much I have to reduce the consumption, usage of that oil to equal to that 100 rupees. Now it is 110, last year 100. Okay, I don't want to spend much amount, same amount I want to spend, that 100 rupees only. But how much percentage of the oil I have to reduce in consumption? How much I have to use less amount of oil for that purpose, for regarding consumption. Okay, for increase, for decrease. Okay, here for consumption, okay, to equal to not in change the rate or consumption. You see here, if the annual increase in population of town is 4%, annual increase 4%, every year 4% increase in population. The present number of people 15,625. What's the population after 3 years? Then this is the formula. Okay, what's the rate? 4%. You see here, rate is 4%. Every year town is increasing 4% of population are increasing 4%. This R is the rate of increase, P is the present population, present. Okay, then after 3 years, N is the number of years after here. Okay, this is the formula. Okay, after 3 years, if the population will increase 4% every year, then after 3 years, okay, present population 15,625, after 3 years the population will be 17,576. If you see these problems, then you can understand that above formulas easily. Okay, you see here, all these are very easy. If you think logically, it's easy. If the annual increase of population of a town is 4%, present population, okay, what was 3 years ago? If I want to know 3 years back, okay, what it could be? Okay, every year 4% increase. How it was there 3 years ago? Okay, then we use this formula. By, earlier into, now in the denominator, this is there. Okay, this is the formula. Okay, if it was ago in the denominator, if I want to know after, in the numerator only, this formula, P into 1 plus R by 100. If after, if ago, in the denominator, this 1 plus R by 100 to the power n. Okay, this is the shortcut formula. Okay, if the price of a commodity raised by 20%, okay, that commodity price is increased 20%, how much a householder must reduce that lady, okay, consumption? How much she has to reduce her consumption? Now price is increased 20%. Okay, so that not to increase, actually she don't, now earlier 100 rupees, now it is 120, but she want to consume, consume for that rate only, that 100 rupees only. She don't want to spend 120 rupees. For that 100 rupees, okay, she will invest only, last year 100, now also 100, but how much she has to reduce her usage of that oil, consumption of her oil, usage or consumption of that oil. Okay, You see here, rate is 20% increased. Okay, 100 plus 20 into 100, 20 by 100 into, okay, this is the formula. Okay, she has to, okay, reduce 16 2 by 3%, she has to reduce, okay, to equal. Okay, next, if the price of sugar falls down by 10%, okay, last year 100 rupees, now it was, okay, fall down 10%, now it is 90 rupees only. By how much percentage a householder, okay, last year 100 rupees, now it is 90 rupees, but now I want to invest 100 rupees, now I will get more sugar, na? So I want to increase same price. Okay, how much percent a householder increase its consumption so as not to decrease the expenditure? I want to invest that same amount only, but how much percent of that sugar I will increase? R by 100 minus R into 100. Okay, that rate decrease 10%. Okay, you see here in this formula, R is the rate of decrease. Okay, then, okay, you see here 11 1 by 9%, you can increase more for the same cost. Last year 100 rupees, now it is 90 rupees, but now you will spend 100 rupees only, but you can utilize 11 1 by 9% more sugar for the same cost. Last year cost, you will get sugar 11 1 by 9% more. Okay, because of that reduction of a price. Okay, a number is 50% more than the other, then a number is 50% more, okay, than more than the other number. Okay, then how much percentage is the second number less than the first? You see here, this is the formula, R by 100 plus R into 100. Okay, then second number is less than the first is 33 1 by 3 percentage is less. Okay, if the first number is more than the second number, 50% is more than the second number, then, okay, second number is 33%, 33 1 by 3 is less than the first number. Okay, if the first number is more 50%, this is the formula. Okay, if one number is more than other, by in the denominator we have to write 100 plus R. Okay, you see here, salary of a worker first increased 10%, then after reduced 10%. First increased 10%. First they gave, let us consider 100 rupees, but his salary is increased 10%, 110 per. Now his salary is, after increasing 10%, 110 rupees. Then immediately they reduced 10%. Out of 110%, we have to reduce 10%. 10% of 110. We have to reduce from 110. We have to reduce 10% from 110 rupees. Okay. So here 10 and 10 common values. So here now we are going to find the change percentage. Loss. First increase 10%. Next decrease, reduce 10%. So loss only na. Actually the loss percentage is common value by 10 to the power 2. Okay. For common values only this formula will be implemented, this shortcut. Okay. He lost 1%. He got increment, but compared to the first increment, he lost 1%. Okay. General method, I minus D, increment first 10%, then decrement 10%. Okay. This is also one more formula. Okay. All these are the shortcut formulas. We will get minus 1, that means 1% decreased. Okay. You see here, in 2025, the total enrollment of a college was 1500. In the 2025, in the college, 1500 students joined. Next year, it increased by 10%. What's the enrollment in 2026? Okay, next year, 10% more students will join. What's in the next year? Now 1500 only. In the next year 10% students will be increased. Okay, we discussed earlier, at the beginning is at present into 100 by 100 plus x. Okay, at present 15, this is okay, this is the at the beginning. Okay, so after that we will get this value. At the beginning 1500, now we will get at present is 1650. Okay, here we will do cross multiplication. 110 will go to numerator, this 100 will go to denominator. Okay, you see here. Next, if the number of a fraction is increased by 20%, okay, and denominator is diminished by 10%, okay, the value of the fraction is 1625. If the number of a fraction is increased by 20%, you see here, number is increased 20% of that. Okay, number is decreased 10% of that number. Okay, what's the original fraction? Okay, then we will get answer. Actually here y only, here this is the y, but here this is the y. Okay, then we will get 4 by 7. You see here, in an examination 63% of candidates passed in English. Okay, 63% passed in English. Okay, that means 63% pass means 37% failed. Next, in mathematics 65% pass, 27% fail. So 65% pass means 35 fail. Okay, what's the pass percentage? Okay, you see here pass percentage. You see here failed, you see here 37 failed. Here they gave, okay, what's the pass percentage? You see here, 37 fail, 37, 35 in English, 37 fail, in maths 35 fail. Okay, so first fail students. Okay, here you see here 27 are failed in both the subjects. Okay, actually here in this question, you see here mathematics 27 failed, 65% pass in maths and 27% failed in both the subjects. This 27% failed in both. You see here 27 are failed in both. Total failed 37 in English. So out of 37 failed, okay, you see here 27 are failed in both the subjects. So 27 failed in both. 27 means we want 37, 10. So 27 plus 10, 37. 27 plus 8, 35 failed. So both the subjects failed 27. Total maths failed 35. So this 8 are only in maths failed. Only failed in English 10. Both subjects failed 27. Okay, you see here total failed persons 10 plus 27 plus 8, 45% total failed. Total pass persons 55%. Okay, next, if 10% of electricity bill is deducted 45, okay, from the total, okay, from the total bill, if we deduct 10%, then the result is 45. 10% of electricity bill is deducted, 45 is still to be paid. Okay, actually from the total bill, if we reduce 10% of that bill, then even though still we have to be paid 45 rupees. Even though after discount from the total amount, we have to, actually this is the total amount. Now we got discount of 10% of that amount. Even though after getting discount we have to be paid 45 rupees. What's the total bill? That is the 50 rupees. Okay, you see here there is an increase of 30% in production of milk chocolates in Amul Dairy in 1 month. Okay, now it is 9,100 milk chocolates per month. Okay, what was it month ago? Okay, here there is an increase of 30% in the production. Okay, first at the beginning we have something chocolates. Now we increased 30% of the total chocolates. Okay, then if we add these two, then it will be 9,100. At the beginning, how our production was there? At the beginning 7,000 chocolates are there. After that we produced 30% more. Okay, for the 7,000 we produced 30% more, then 9,100. Okay, we increased 30% of the chocolates. Then after increase to the original chocolates, now we have 9,100. Actually earlier what was in the previous month? Now in this month we increased 30%. What was the previous month? How many we had chocolates? 7,000. Okay, we produced 30% of more to the original, then it will be now 9,100. Then earlier, this is earlier chocolates. Okay, and ore contains 12% copper. How many kilograms of ore are required to get 69 kg of copper? Okay, actually 69 kg of ore I want. Okay, 12% of something is 69 kgs. Okay, what's the original content? Okay, 12% of that content is 69 kgs. What's the original content? Okay, next 25% of a number is 20. Okay, 25% of something is 20. 40% of a number is how much? First we have to find out this 25% of x. 25% means by 100. 25 by 100, half means into x. 25 by 100 into x is 20. X is 80. Then we have to find out 40% of number. We don't know number, that is x. 40% of x means 40 by 100 into 80. 32 is the result. Okay, you see here groundnut oil is now being sold at 27 per kg. During last month its cost was 24. Last month 24 rupees, now 27 rupees. It was increased 3 rupees in this month. Find how much percentage of family should reduce its consumption so as to keep the expenditure same. Now it is increased from 24 to 27 rupees. So how much oil I have to reduce in consumption? This is the formula, r by 100 plus r into 100. Or for 24 rupees last month increased 3 rupees. Okay, then this okay, this is the in percentage 12.5%. That increased rupees is 12.5% is increased. Okay, so you see here this is the formula. So after we have to substitute that in formula. What's the rate of increase or decrease? 12.5%. 12.5% of rate is increased. Okay, last year 24 rupees last month, now 27 rupees. The rate of increase is 12.5%. 12.5 means 12 1 by 2. 2 into 12, 24 plus 1, 25 by 2. Okay, that rate is 25 by 2. 100 plus 25 by 2. So that family has to reduce their consumption of usage oil 11 1 by 9%. Then they won't spend much amount, equal amount they can invest. If they reduce their consumption 11 1 by 9, same rate they will get. Okay, the income of C is 20% more than B. Okay, C is 20 than B, but we don't know B. and the income of B is 25% more than A. Okay, B's income is, for example, A income is 100. Okay, B is 25%. That means if A is, let us consider A's income is 100, B's income is 25% more than A, 125. Okay, C is 20% more than B. Okay, you see here, B income 125, C income is 20% more of B, that means 20% of 125. C income is 20% more than B, 20% of B, 20 by 100 into B income is 125, so that is C 25. Okay, what's the B? 125. But now C is getting more than B 25 rupees. 125 plus 25 is C's income. Okay, today the daily wage is increased by 15%. Daily wage increased 15% and a person now get 23 per day. Okay, after increase 15%, now that person is getting 23 rupees per day. What was his daily wage before increase? Okay, actually his original wage before increase, what's that? Actually now, for example, 100. Okay, then what's the increase? 115 out of 100. Okay, now for 100, 115 increased. Okay, for 100 rupees, 115 rupees increment on the 100 rupees. 15% increased. Na? This is increased amount, 115 on 100 rupees. Then what's the increase of 23 on which amount? On something amount. Okay, 23 into 100 by 115, 20 rupees is before wage. The weight of a sandbag is 40 kg. In a hurry it was weighed 40.8 kg. Find the error percentage. Okay, actually weight is, original weight of sand is 40 kg, but extra 0.8 we unnecessarily weighed. Okay, what's the percentage of this out of 100? 100 into 0.8 by 40, 2% we lost. Okay, unnecessarily we weighed 2% of original. Okay, next, if 65% of total marks in a paper was 97.5, 65% of something is 97.5. What's the maximum mark? We don't know the x now. X is the maximum mark. 65 by 100 into x is 97.5. X is here in cross multiplication. 100 will go to numerator, 65 will come into denominator. 97.5 into 100 by 65. Maximum marks is 150. Okay. The price of an article. The price of an article decreased twice successively by 30% and 40%. First, that article price decreased 30%, next decreased 40%. If the original price was 1000 rupees, what is it now? Actually, original price 1000 rupees only, but it was increased 30%, first time 40%, next time. Okay, it was decreased 30% first time, 40% next time. So here I told you na, 2 times, so 2 times, 2 hundreds, so minus 100 minus 30, 100 minus 40. At present 420 rupees the price cost. Okay, 33% marks is required to pass in exam and the candidate gets 210 marks. Earlier we discussed this. Now he got 210 marks, that candidate, but he has to get 33% of marks. Okay, a candidate gets 210 marks and fails by 21. If he gets 33%, he will pass. Okay, he got now 210 and he failed by 21. 210 plus 21, 231 for 33%. What's the maximum marks? 100 into y plus z. Already we discussed this. Okay, once I revised this problem. Okay, here also same problem. Okay, once for revision I gave this. For increment, plus plus. For decrement, minus minus. If 3 times it was happened, then we have to use 300s. Okay, if increased, plus, decrease, minus. If 2 times, we have to use 2 only. 2 times. 2 times 2 terms, 3 times 3 terms. Already we discussed this problem at the beginning. Okay, just for the revision purpose I gave same problems we revised at the beginning. Once you check it, for more practice here I gave all these problems. Okay, same problems. Okay, same problems only, but for your practice I gave here. In an election, a candidate gets 46% of votes and loses by 15,208 votes. Okay, and loses by 15,208 votes to be elected. How many votes polled? Okay, here in an election, the candidate got 46% of votes. Okay, and if he could get more 15,208, he could win. So 54% of X. Okay, so total votes are 54% of X minus 46% of X is 15,208. This is the total votes are 1,90,100. Okay, next, a man gives 20% of his money to his eldest son. Already we discussed this problem. Okay, you see here he gave 20% of his money and 30% to younger son, 10% to poor. Still he had, now at present he had 100 rupees. What's that at the beginning? Already we discussed this problem. Okay, at the beginning, a student scores 20% marks and fails by 30% marks. To pass, okay, he has to get to more 30. Okay, and another student, he got 32% X and more he got 42. So that more we have to cut it. Okay, then both could pass. These two are pass marks. What's the maximum marks? 600. Okay, if we think logically, then we can get the answer. Okay, last problems are for revision. Okay, for practice I gave. Okay, these are problems on percentages. You practice thoroughly all these problems. Okay, total 53 questions. Okay, on these 53, if you practice these 53, okay, practice on these 53 enough, okay, you can think based on these problems, then you will be succeeded in your competitive exams, either in software jobs or any competitive exams. Okay, thank you for watching this